We're going. Oh my God. I forgot to unmute the fucking desktop audio. I wasn't recording any of the rest of you that whole time.
No.
All of our vamping. No.
We just have to do that again, but like we do it. Well, that means you didn't catch all my my confusion in the beginning. So that's actually
you didn't archive the childhood neglect for my son.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, I can still be a good father to those people who don't know me.
Proximity alert. Vessel approaching. The vessel is hailing.
Space.
Warning. Warp core collapse in 10 seconds.
Hey, second chance. Let's go.
Don't worry. I have an eidetic memory, so I'm gonna actually just be going back and doing impressions of everyone.
Perfect.
So now you have to do you have to show me my impression. I just want to make sure it checks out.
Hi,
Yeah, it's important.
I'm Dr. Nicole Bad Bunny.
Oh my God.
This
is like the spitting image.
Never again.
Build butt better, everyone. We're doing it. Let's go.
That's right. I will
Big
say
Biden fan here.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we love Biden here.
We love infrastructure bills in here, folks. Well, shit. I guess we got to do the intro again. Hi.
All right, let's do it again.
Hi, I'm Eric from Failed Podcast Left Trek. Joining me is Brian.
Hi, I'm science off. No, God damn it! Now it's the magic's ruined. Yeah, hi, I'm Trashcan1312, and I used to have a really cool thing in this episode about me talking about deflector shields. And
it was a great bit, and now it's lost to the sands of time.
Mm-hmm.
How unfortunate. And also Zots. Hey,
Fortunately, I don't have to change anything. I'm not as bad as these nerds here. I'm a little worse actually, because I'm the resident weeb and the rube for everything that goes on here on Left Trek. So it's good to be here again, and a great father. Don't let any traumatic story change your mind about that.
World's number one Hot Wheels dad, and of course, once again, and this is great because then I can do both these. I'm just doing this introduction twice, and I can use the better one. I'll try really vamping this up on this. I'm already getting tongue-tied. Joining us, special guest returning for episode 2 for part 2 challenge coin. Whatever, Dr. Nicole. I'm cutting this one out. Dr. Nicole Bad Bunny.
We're gonna do it again, right? Are we doing the intro again?
Yeah.
Is that what we're trying? Is that what we're saying?
Yes.
Hi everyone. If we're not doing it again, and this is the take. Hi, I'm back for the second time. Is what Eric was trying. It's the second time I'm invited back. The first guest invited back for the second time, not episode 2. This isn't episode 2.
Yeah, we've done more than that.
Nicole is returning for her second time Left Trek guest challenge coin. Is the thing that I wanted to say, and we're absolutely thrilled to have her, folks. Yeah. So okay, well, getting back into episode as listed on Netflix, episode 12, Data Lore. The Enterprise is going back to Data's homeworld, which has been mysteriously stripped of all life. Oh my goodness, what's gonna happen here? So we've all Zos has not seen this episode, but we all have. How much did Nicole and Brian? How much did you remember of this one?
I didn't remember, as much "Shut Up, Wesley" happening, but but glad to hear it. That's the big takeaway for me.
Yeah.
Honestly, I feel like it was all kind of new to me again in a way. I mean, I guess I haven't really watched a season 1 episode in a while too. But all familiar, but also quite new, because watching 2 Datas and getting to meet Lore for the first time, it always hits you different, I think. Never quite hits you the same way, personally.
Absolutely.
Brent
Also,
Spiner really flexing his acting. Yeah.
Absolutely. Brent Spiner in rare form.
Yeah, because most of, like I said when we were watching it, but like usually when syndicated television or just like basic TV tries to do like the same actor, two different roles type shit, like it's like really hokey, like it's like really, really bad. But they did really well. The shooting was really good. Like for like the body doubles, like even like the fight scene was pretty good. Like yeah, like it was pretty impressive. Very pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, I had a very similar experience going into this as Nicole, because like, yeah, I kind of also felt like I was watching it for the first time, because while I somewhat remember the events, I think I mixed a lot of them up. Like, I thought the one where Laura punches out Worf, great scene.
Stand by it. That would not have happened to Tasha Yar.
Oh no,
Tasha Yar would have seen fucking Lore like winding up for the punch, and she would have just cut that shit out real quick.
Oh, deck that motherfucker!
Yeah,
and I thought that was from the one where where Data gets taken over by one of the evil ghosts that are on the one
with
planet.
the mask, where he puts that stupid ass mask on his face.
No, not
like. Not that one, okay.
The one where him, O'Brien, and Troy are possessed by like the electricity ghost, and then they take a bunch of people hostage and 10 forward.
Oh yeah.
I thought that was from that one, but it's not. It's from this.
Troy's pretty awesome in that one. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. An unfortunate like lack of one of the few episodes where Maria Sirtis, is that's her name, right?
Mm-hmm.
Gets to
or Marina, right?
One of well, I'll if you're right, then I'll cut your thing over what I said. And, this is the magic of editing, folks. You know, really, editing is just gaslighting, but you know, professional gaslighting. Universal agreement. Well, so we'll run through this real quick and then get, because there's a lot of little interesting things that happened in this one, but the basic plot is pretty simple. Data, they're going back to the home planet where Data was found. It's been stripped of all life. They don't really have a reason why, or an understanding why, but there's Slender-ish. I mean, Slender stole it from Star Trek. Clearly, here the creepy child's drawings of the evil monster that's coming for everyone, and in this time it looks like a geometric crystal type thing, and a bunch of people are running afraid of it. What could it be? Could it be some sort of crystalline entity, perhaps? We'll never know. They never say crystalline entity in this one.
I thought they did say it.
I heard maybe perhaps I'm mistaken. I heard a crystal thing a couple times, and a crystalline thing, and I'm like, oh, it's close. Perhaps they did say it, and I am maybe. Oh, you know what? Maybe Lore says it.
I was more impressed that they still had crayons that far in the future. That was what, and like refrigerator magnets, you know, that was pretty like things I didn't expect to like transverse the universe and, you know, exist that far into like the 31st century. Alphabet letter fridge magnets and crayons.
So you could have to burst your bubble there, Eric, just real quick. If you take a look, you're wrong.
Boom. The image of a great crystalline entity. Oh shit! Look at that. Well,
wow.
This is definitely getting cut.
Get fudged.
Get absolutely wrecked, Eric.
They definitely say crystalline entity. That's the scene. Well, we'll get that scene real quick because there's some interesting things here. So they go down onto the planet, and then they discover a hidden passage. This is where the colonists hid before getting I guess murdered by the crystalline entity, by getting slurped up and absorbed by the great beast. And they down there they discover a few interesting things. Data has vague memories of things going down here. He knows that this is Dr. Soon's workstation. There's the child drawings. There's a perfect cast, like a plastic cast of Brett Spiner's face, and he puts it on his face.
I love that part.
Yeah, he just puts it on.
Can I tell you one of my favorite parts? One of my favorite parts of this is when Lore is in, like, they finally meet Lore, they assemble Lore, and they see him for the first time. Picard looks at him, and he's like, does it kind of look like you? And everyone's like, yeah, I do see it. It's like, it's the same exact guy, but they're all like pretending that they're squinting and they're making out a resemblance.
Oh my god. Yeah,
I don't know if anyone remembers that part, but it's incredible.
It's a lot of really hacky stuff in this.
Yeah.
I appreciated how nice, this is like the first episode, I think, this season where like they treated Data nicely. Like they actually treated Data like
a person.
Like a person. Like all other time, like, because and like it's really evident like when you see the episode after this, and like they just go right back to treating him like a talking toaster. Like this episode, like they were like, yeah, Data, this is for you. And like they were just like all about him and like letting him like revel in this. But like, yeah, like that was like, this is nice. This is refreshing. Nobody's rolling their eyes at what he's saying. It's been good.
Yes, exactly. Data, it's you.
Sorry, we're looking at the images. Maybe I shouldn't distract. I'm taking screenshots of the show and I'm posted in Discord. So to all the listeners, that's what's happening right now. I'm being I'm trying to throw a wrench in this whole operation. I'm actually a Fed. I'm here. I've been assigned a real shitty op.
Oh, you were in the plane.
I might as well tell you all. I'm trying to. I'm assigned to disrupt left track.
Well, when we were recording with
good luck,
Elliot from good luck. We got a smooth operation here.
Yeah.
When we were recording with Elliot, a plane like flew directly over my house, like at an altitude of like 400 feet. That was bad, buddy.
Oh shit.
I mean, I should have just checked the VODs. We were probably streaming it at the time.
But Nicole, did you do r/anti work as well?
Oh my god. Yeah, that was me. Yeah, that was me.
Got it.
Yeah. Yeah, I was the one that took it from anti-work to like, we just have to work less hours. And I feel like my work there has been done.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I'm moving on to bigger and better things like left track.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is that the I've heard of I mean I don't know shit about any of this stuff, but I've heard of r/anti work. Did it get co-opted? Did it get CIA'd? Is that what happened?
People got mad because there are a bunch of anarchists that were in it that were like telling people like, you can't just ask for general strike, like you have to plan, you have to have like secondary power structures, like you actually have to like organize your workplaces to get things ready, so that like so that like, you know, you can't just like manifest this thing, because, you know, people are going to starve if they don't have their paychecks. And then everybody was like, everyone else was just like, fuck you, you're wrong. And then it just kind of like went to hell after that. And then one of the moderators used it to get their 15 seconds of fame on Fox News. So that was
oh my god,
it was painful. It was super painful. And it's always interesting when it's like the libs will complain about the idealistic nature of, say, a communist or anarchist or however you want to label yourself, but then they do this, I would argue, the most idealistic thing in the world, which is just can repeat general strike, and then it happens. Like that's just literally just talking about an idea and never ever making any sort of efforts to action it besides just continually talking about it. Whereas the anarchist, I'm sure they will label them as like an idealist, is like, no, here's how you actually have to do shit. You actually have to lay the groundwork.
Yeah,
you have to build mutual support, like networks. Yeah, no.
Because if you leave it up to the devices of the system works to correct itself in new and exciting forms.
Yeah, recuperation. Yeah, it recuperates, and it just goes, okay, I see you. We're now gonna kneel in the emancipation room, and we're going to, you know, make cops like we're just going to encourage more cops to be black so that it looks like, it's your community that's policing you and stuff. Like, that's what we'll do.
Finally solved. Amen.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. More black trans women prison guards. That's what we need. We need.
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
luckily,
that solves the industrial complex. Yeah.
once again, we can look to the glorious future of Star Trek, especially in the next episode we're talking about, where the anarchist men's rights activists are finally gonna save the matriarchal society. Look forward to that. But first, oh, sorry.
Yeah, we can't get to planet Gaslight Gatekeep Girl Boss yet. We gotta wait.
Yeah, we have another very fun episode of Brent Spiner having a facial tech and two different characters that Spycraft and
I wrote down Planet Triple G. I'm a big fan of it. Another scene I liked. They introduced another chief engineer. I think maybe he's a chief engineer from before. There's been a lot of chief engineers. There's been even more chief engineers since you last joined us, Nicole. There's just a fucking chief engineer every episode. So they find like a perfectly modeled cast of Brent Spiner's ass just like sticking out of the thing, and it turns out it's a perfect copy of Data. Oh my goodness! They bring it back on board, and one scene that I particularly liked was Crusher is the person. Dr. Crusher is primarily the person that's working on like assembling lore, which I think is a nice touch, as it implies both like the human-like construction of Data and lore, and also the particularly delicate nature of the work, suiting a skilled doctor most of all. Simply only like having engineers on by for like because he's a robot. Cool stuff. Well, I like it. I'm a big fan.
I like that she says close him up or something like that. But then she's also not wearing gloves. I don't know how I feel about that part. Like, is that okay?
Doesn't
he's
matter
an android. I get it, but like, should you still probably wear gloves or something?
Yeah, I would think
in the future we've evolved past the need for gloves.
Really? Because surgeons still wear gloves. They still wear those blood red gloves. Do you remember that blood red outfit?
Well, that's because sometimes they wear like in very intense like stuff especially in the one where they're doing like really intense surgeries, like the one.
The Worf one.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, we were thinking the same thing.
I can't. I'm just sorry. It's just. That is
but it's all
just the barrel. I can't. It's just too funny. It's hard to. They had to have been writing that as a joke. But that has to be like a joke episode, but also trying to evoke some real emotions. But it also is a joke, right? Worf was defeated by a rogue barrel. And also, why are these barrels not like strapped down? Is there every time they're, and you ever see like the fucking bridge when they hit anything, they all like shake? Does that mean like they have people just in those rooms just replacing barrels like
all the time,
like obsessively because they refuse to strap them down for reasons?
The barrel that weighs like 2 fucking tons is just like stacked 50 feet in the air, entirely
I don't see
unsecure.
any like forklifts. How are they putting them back?
They turn the gravity off for like a second just so they can move all the heavy shit, and then they turn it back on.
You would think that a mere like strap or maybe something to put in front of the shelves would be a much easier solution than like an anti-gravity
in the future we've evolved beyond the need for straps.
Oh yes, of course.
Contrary to all, and the budget. Well, it wasn't in Starfleet's budget to fucking produce to give them straps, I'm sure.
Yeah, I got it.
I'm
so excited. I love, like, because I know that the time is gonna come where like Tasha Yar is like yeeted off the main cast, and so like anytime that like I'm just seeing like Worf get owned, like that's just gonna be my go bag. It's just like that would never happen to Tasha Yar. She would have caught that barrel with her teeth thrown.
and that plays back into where you're talking about with like, oh, they're finally treating Data a little bit better. Well, soon the punching bag gets shifted on famously to Worf. So stay tuned for that one. Worf is always wrong. He even is always wrong, like in these earlier episodes too. It's nice to get like series, like hard series traditions established early. That's the sign of a long-lasting show.
Can I tell you a line that like I actually really love in I don't know if I should. Nah, I'm not gonna. Yeah, I'll do it.
Go ahead.
Okay.
It's super long, but it's not the whole thing. But one of the things, this is one of the lines I always think about is when they're all sitting in the what do they call it? What do they call that room? The conference room?
I think it is the conference room. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sitting around the conference room, they're trying to like delicately talk about how to, describe Data's like body or Lore's body or whatever. And everyone's all fumbling, and Picard's like, all right, everyone's all awkward right now. And then he says, there's no reason for this. If it feels awkward to be reminded that Data is a machine, just remember that we are merely a different variety of machine, in our case, electrochemical in nature. And I don't know, I just really, really like that. I know it's not the most or even remotely a relevant form of activism or anything, but like in the event that androids do develop sentience at one point in our lives or whatever, I feel like this type of perspective would become relevant. But also it's just relevant just across species, just across like the idea that me and the way that I function has some sort of like special essence to it that makes it somehow like more real or more feeling or more valid than another. It's just there's just differences, but it doesn't change sentience. And I don't know, I just really like the way you described that. But also android rights.
Android rights. Yeah, robot is a slur, by the way.
Okay, yeah, got it. Well, you did say it earlier, so I just
I
don't want to say anything.
We're gonna have to self-cert on that one.
Yes.
I completely agree with you. It's a very Star Trek line. It's a very like secular line. It shows that that people, humans, aren't important, which is a common refrain in many ideologies, but the way where this is radical and interesting is that, like, despite the fact that we are merely just machines of another nature, all of us, Data, Lore, all these people, have weird crystalline entities that eat planets. We're all alive, and for the people that are people, we're all people. We're all sapient beings trying to just living life. There's
just trying to figure it out, man.
Yeah.
Like, we're just takes hit of future bong and just like we're just
bro.
We're all just floating in space, man. Like, we're just here. We're
all like just machines, but like our parts are just different parts. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and
totally.
it's lovely. Thank you, Gene Roddenberry. What a brave vision of the future that you have given us. The father of left track is what he's gonna be remembered as.
Gross. I'd rather still not have a dad, thanks.
you can well we see where this plays in your personal life then.
Are we hurting people in this episode?
That calls back to a bit that unfortunately an audio issue, an unspecified audio issue, unfortunately.
We're not pointing fingers. Somehow, somewhere.
It was
just someone.
It was because of the bonus episode.
Yeah, just blame the bonus episode. Just do it. It's fine.
Once Lore eventually wakes up, he starts like spewing his lie about, like, I don't know which one did he say first. I don't even remember because he like does a bunch of lies. He says that
figure it out right now.
He says that Data was made. He said that Data was made first, and then Lore was constructed because Data was insufficient or something like that. And
Oh yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead. I think because there's like they flip flop a few times or something.
Well, yeah,
Right. Lore says that he was developed first and that Data was like the other one that was like more advanced or something, but it turns out, bless you. Right? Doesn't he say that? But then he goes, "Oh, actually."
Yeah, well, yeah.
Actually, turns out
says,
I am the advanced one.
He says that he was developed first, and then actually, in reality, it turns out
backwards.
that Lore was invented first, and then but he says a lie that we find out in a much later episode where Brent Spiner's playing 3 characters.
Oh yeah, that was the best.
That is a great episode too, and
I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
and then what it turns out is that because Lore lies to Data and says that Lore had to be shut down and replaced with a less perfect android, and then Dr. Soon, spoilers, is still alive. Then reveals that no, he the last thing you should think about is more perfect, and they didn't shut down Lore because he was too dangerous. They were shut down Lore because they were afraid of him, which for good reason, because Lore ended up killing them all. Lore's a fucking mass murderer. That's what giving emotions to a robot does, everyone. Am I right?
That's the pure that's what happens when you have pure human distillate, right? Like you
I was about to say, my God, think of the like this just has rippling effect for like the way that we interpret ourselves. If you think about it, like, wow, are we just a bunch of are we just like a bro?
Smoke up.
Wow.
On his left track time.
Okay, yeah.
It's like a reflection of ourselves, man.
Whoa, bro, stop, bro.
Wow.
Lore is like lying to people about it being stupid. There's a lot. It's this the whole section. It's nonsense. It's really hacky. Lore has some stupid plan. He's trying to trick everyone into thinking that he's inferior, and then eventually he poisons Data. I guess with some it's
yeah.
What
I don't get that. What is that? What is that? How does that even make any sense?
They set it up earlier because Lore was like replicated some compounds, and then Data's like, oh well, those are just normal compounds in our construction. It'd just be like you getting a stack, and I guess that's the setup for Lore actually did something, and then it turns out, oh, he put something in a drink. He handed the drink to Data, some champagne, and then they. And then Data drinks it. Data has absorbed every single one of these like detective serials and every Sherlock Holmes book and adaptation, and he falls for the poison in a thing. Don't accept that from someone you don't trust, Data. Oh my goodness.
Data might not have trust. Yeah, Data, or at the very least, like expect some common decency, you know?
Yeah. When he gives him his computer, he knows he's suspicious of his brother, but he just goes, "Okay, you can have my computer."
Yeah, well, and then also, yeah. So he gives Lore the computer, and then he also asks Lore to, once Lore reveals that he has that he was alive on the colony, he's like, "Oh, you better file a report, Lore," and Lore's like, "Oh yeah, I'll file a report.
I'll sure do that, brother."
But he does do that, which I thought was weird. He does file a report. He tells them about the crystalline entity. Like, it's like, wait, okay, what the fuck? It doesn't really. But yeah, so I guess Lore, I mean, still has a very strong work ethic. Lore is not r/anti-work, folks. Even if he's gonna kill all these people, he is going to put in an honest day of labor writing some reports for Starfleet. Absolutely. Accurate reports for Starfleet as well. But yeah, Lore eventually incapacitates Data. It's foreshadow. Every time like Lore is doing anything, like it's kind of spoiled that he's sinister by the music being incredibly sinister. Anytime Lore is like talking or speaking in any way, oh my god.
Can we talk about how he can use contractions?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Incredible.
This is one of those things that like persists as like a feature of Data, even though like
That
I
one
mean-
episode they violate at the very end, and it always bugs me. Not this episode, but like, what was that episode later on where? Wait, is it this episode? Am I misremembering? At the very end, Data uses a contraction.
Does he?
And-
I do not remember.
Yeah, I totally miss it.
All right, you know
Yeah.
what? I'll get back to you on this one.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. So but then Lore's plan is that he switched places with Data, and he like. He gets rid of his facial tick and then gives Data a facial tick by rubbing a light on him. And then they switch places, and he says that that Data incapacitated that the Data had to incapacitate Lore because he attacked him after. It's really stupid, and it's obviously just like not true. They clearly just could not think of like any. They wanted Lore to. They knew that Lore was going to betray them, and then they were writing backwards from that point as to like what do you put in between that?
I can tell you've never seen an episode of like 60s Batman, like ever, because that's basically like it's just like a 60s Batman villain.
Oh my god. Oh man. And
This.
Oh yeah.
This is the like. Here, I'll show you. This is why I've never understood what they were trying to do by this. Saying, yes, sir, I'm fine. And it's the end of the episode. It's and then he has a facial tick right after that. And I think it's supposed to be some sort of like, oh, you never know.
Well,
is it really? But
he was
honestly,
given
it's
the facial tick at that point. And
he was given the facial tick, but he wasn't given contractions.
Yes, that's another thing.
What is happening?
And the contractions thing, anyway, just doesn't make any sense. Like Data is just this hyper intelligent android who we find out in this episode, which I didn't even realize, has been living amongst humans for 26 years. Like he's a hyper intelligent android who's been socializing like as like a fully conscious
He's learning
being.
to tap dance, and he can't like say can't.
Yeah. Like,
I don't understand.
Makes absolutely no fucking sense. At one point they imply that like he speaks more formally, but then they also say that it's like they also basically state that it's just a rule of his programming, like he just doesn't get it. It doesn't make any fucking sense, just like everything else.
I mean, then maybe a Noonian like wrote something specifically that barred him from ever learning contractions. I mean, I guess that's it sort of. Do we ever learn the real reason that he can't learn contractions?
No, that's just
because we only
just
learned
a
it from
thing.
Lore. Lore says that he's like Soon didn't give you the ability to be able to say contractions because it made you sound too human or something. Or
I don't
What do you say?
I don't think that's ever actually brought up. It's just something that is stated later on. Like
Just a quirky thing.
Yeah,
It's a quirky little
there's
thing.
like no rhyme or reason behind it. It doesn't make any sense. I have no idea. They end up Laura is going to feed everyone to the big space crystal. The crystalline entity, cool concept, quite like it. I know I remember back playing Star Trek Online, like crystalline entity was like a world raid boss that a bunch of people would go
Sure
fight.
was.
Sure
was. I definitely played that too. Oh no.
There's a lot of we'll see more from the crystalline entity in the future, and then like I guess maybe there's more crystalline entities out there that are just like sucking up planets. What a fun time with having a fun time with crystals, folks.
Yeah, crystalline entities and the big suck. That's just what they do.
Yeah, and
that's true.
I don't know if anyone else has noticed this, but like Brent Spiner, great actor, absolutely, has not quite like when you look at like the very consistent Data performance, especially from like season maybe even as early as season 2 onwards, very very consistent characterization, very consistent acting choices. He's a little too cheeky with Data right now, or at least he's a little more cheeky with Data than he ends up being at any other point in the show, and that's really only in season 1. Yeah.
What do you mean by cheeky?
He does little
Like smirks and stuff?
Yeah, little smirks, little exasperations, little
Yeah.
not quite as robotic as what he's going to get later. And I give him full credit for this. He really nails what like an android acts like later on. I mean, yeah, because I've met many in my time, of course.
Correct.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I am an android. Please don't call me robot. I'll be very upset. But yeah, so that's just something I noticed. Otherwise, what one of the better examples in television of like the double. I know, it's used on like hacky soap operas and like with the show like Vampire Diaries like a million times, but here in Star Trek, everything's just a little bit better. The quality is so high, especially in season 1. Oh my goodness,
just the highest, especially in that first episode when they used the soundstage as like a main set. It's great.
Great. Once Laura's plan is to Laura wants the details of all this are so weird because Wesley knows that Data is not Lore, but like isn't saying it out loud. It's like, you can't get me to go with Lore, and everyone go with Data like right now. And it's hacky, it's weird. I don't know. Lore's plan is to, hey, I'm gonna go transport a tree, and then we can blow up the tree as a show of our power. And everyone's like, oh yes, that's exactly what we should be doing. Like it's stupid.
This makes sense. Certainly.
And of course, what his actual plan is that, once the transporter goes off, the deflector shield will be down a little bit, and then you can suck up everyone on board the Enterprise. And we hear him saying this to the crystalline entity. Of course, Wesley Crusher knows exactly what's going on, and he brings his mom, who's incredulous, over to revive Data, and Wesley goes, Data, you've got to stop Lore, and then they go and have a final showdown in the cargo bay with
epic
the transporter.
Showdown.
Yeah,
barrels were thrown in caught. It was incredible.
Yeah.
Real like super powered android fights. It's like Batman versus Superman up in here. It's incredible. Barrels are the numerous barrels that are on every Starfleet ship are just being launched.
And I'll have you know, those barrels are capable of paralyzing a Klingon. So
a full Michael
a mere
Dorn.
one barrel can bring a Klingon to his stomach, his face on the floor, unable to move. So this is not just some ragtag barrels. These are lethal, paralyzing barrels.
That's not the only time a barrel falls on someone either. You know, in that episode where they have like
that's what I'm saying. Why? Please just strap them down. What is happening?
They have
It's a moving ship. It's routinely shaking. People fall all the time.
Yeah, this isn't Deep Space Nine. This is not a space station. It'd be good to do it on a space station, anyways. But
space station, fine. Yeah, it makes a little more sense.
But on a fucking moving starship. Are you nuts?
Remember the episode? Oh, sorry.
When you construct an IKEA wardrobe, they have a little thing in the back. They're like, strap this to the wall so it doesn't tip, and that's a wardrobe in a house. These are barrels stacked on barrels in a starship that routinely gets into combat. And people fly all over the place.
Do you remember the episode with the girl Q, with like the girl that ended up being a Q?
Yeah.
Well, so a barrel is about to fall on someone in that, and they say, "Oh my God, that would have killed me." I don't know what, and she uses her Q powers to move the barrel out of the way.
And that's why she refuses. That's why she's like, it looks like I have to, this is who I am. She was trying to be human, and that was the breaking point, right? Wasn't that the thing where she's like, I saved him because I knew it could have happened any other way. That was
like a test earlier on, and the other thing is that she makes Riker want to fuck her. Yeah, I always skip that episode. It sucks. So these barrels are extremely dangerous. They do cover this in Lower Decks, where one of the chief jobs of Lower Decks are just stacking crates in the cargo bay. So yeah, you just gotta stack things up, and then they're easily knocked down, and then there's an emergency, and what do they have to do? They gotta stack them back up again. That's that, like, the vast majority of labor on any Starfleet vessel is just stacking extremely dangerous and heavy barrels just unsecured to the wall.
Just,
well, listen, in space communism, like, there's probably like very few jobs, if arguably no jobs. So this is job creation. It has to come from somewhere.
One of the few sources of mandatory labor is barrel stacking within
Barrel
Starfleet.
stacking, correct. Yeah.
And yeah, so they have their final showdown. Lore shoots Crusher, and her arm is on fire.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And then she goes and runs despite having like severe like phaser burns and being literally on fire. She goes and gets the captain, and then all this stuff happens. And what ends up happening is that, oh my goodness, Data tackles Lore, and then Data flings Lore into the transporter, and it's Lore that gets transported out into space. Oh my goodness, the day is saved. There's a very abrupt ending after that point where they're like, okay, well,
TNG episodes typically are abruptly ended, though.
Yeah.
Well, especially
like,
in season 1.
Last 3 minutes, we have to wrap this up really quick.
and they really just like Data has to kill his brother. Like, what Crusher is shot. They're almost about to die, and everyone's like, well, happy ending. Better get back to work. And they just leave Lore just floating in space. They apparently just we transported him somewhere because he's gone. Like, they don't even mention it. Like,
it's not even an ethical dilemma for them. I thought they'd care about sentient life, even if like Picard would have this whole speech about, we shouldn't let our differences and our blah 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 get in the way of blah blah blah. I'm sure he has some speech prepared for like the way that you should treat even people that are hostile to you because they are in fact life.
He's just floating off in space.
He's just fucking floating. A fully sentient. Like, they could even like have dissected him. If he's dead anyways, wouldn't it be a little bit more, because Starfleet wants to know what's inside. You know, that whole episode in season 2 with Measure of a Man. They obviously, Starfleet is very interested in dissecting and examining the inside of like the most advanced android in the existence of the universe that they know of.
Yeah,
and they left one flying in space because, you know.
Take him over to like the super android jail. You've got to have a super android jail in the future. What else are you gonna do with your super androids? You can't just disassemble them.
Well,
that's fucked
they
up.
just knew that the body would have like incredibly bad vibes, and so they were just like, nah, we can't.
I didn't think of the vibes.
I mean, it would have been great to just like have Data just have some spare parts around, you know?
Yeah, that too. A million reasons.
I would have loved to have seen an episode where like Data just like decides to just get like silly with it and just like puts like Lore's head on his shoulder or whatever. It turns into like some like sort of like comedy routine on the ship, just annoying the fuck out of Riker the whole time.
World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Can I backtrack a little bit and ask about the burning Crusher arm?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Is that the only, I'm racking my brain, is that the only time a phaser wound has left an active fire on a body?
I believe so. I really do.
And they blew it in season 1. They really blew it. That was like the grand finale of phaser burns. I don't think I've ever seen one that has been so like cinematic on a body. It just normally just like punches a person back and they go, and they have a little like scuff mark on them and they're dead.
Also, what the fuck is a phaser? Like, what's the ammunition inside of it?
Okay, it's supposed to be some like concentrated energy beam. Is that
because
whatever
like
that even means?
I used to know this.
Because like when Lore is teleported, right? When Lore is like thrown in a teleporter, he like shoots the phaser, and then like the phaser like gets also like teleported, like just at the last minute. So it's like, where the fuck did that go? Like, what? How do you?
Yeah,
how
there's
did you
a lot of
reconstruct the
questions.
laser?
Yeah, how do
I have
you?
This opens up this whole conversation that I had on my stream about like, hey, when you take a shit in the fucking holodeck, where does the shit go? How does the holodeck distinguish?
Into the cum filter.
Yeah, just on the floor, right? Like,
if you're eating food in the holodeck, where does that food go when you end the simulation? Is it just like removed from your body? Is it simulation food? Like, I know there's probably answers to this on one of those forums.
We talked about this last time too.
Did we talk about? Okay,
well, no,
'cause I cannot-
sorry, no.
Apparently,
I mean,
this is my okay.
We
I wasn't
talked
there,
about
okay.
this last episode with Jesse, where we recorded
Okay.
like 3 hours just talking. About
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, but the real answer is that there's no consistent answer, because you can eat and people drink on the holodeck, and then sometimes like liquids that are on you aren't real. Like in the next episode, in like the very opening of the episode, Wesley fires a snowball out of the thing, and Picard is wet from the snowball, and it's not a lot of consistency. I guess whenever it replicates matter whenever it's convenient for the plot, and then but it's completely intangible whenever that's convenient for the plot. It's intangible on Voyager, and then it's real on season 1 of Next Generation. I
think it's just one of those things where it's like, is it creating force fields or is it replicating things, right? And that's the tension here, right? You got some things are just force fields with like light holograms in them, right? And then some things are like real. And where does that line get drawn? Is it depending on the program?
Okay, so you're saying if you take a shit in the holodeck, it uses like, okay, so you end simulation, the visual force fields cease happening. The replicated food, if there's any if food's been replicated and you haven't eaten it, where does that go? That goes where the shit goes. What happens? Is it transported out? Everything is transported out, and how do they know? Like, I don't understand.
It doesn't make it. I mean, we could, I'm sure, sit down and think like, okay, well, it's a sophisticated computer, like it can understand like, oh, when it needs to like just like evaporate a dirty plate or something. Like, it's one of those things where, like, if you wanted to, you could definitely sit down and figure out like how this thing would actually work, and then that's just not really supported in the show, like, whatsoever. It just doesn't make any fucking sense. So we can think of answers. There are no answers in the show, no good answers at least. Like, I mean, there's a lot of like interesting and especially accurate science. Like they have like very good science advisors and all this stuff. According to Will Wheaton, the stand-in actor used this episode really irritated Brent Spiner, and he was never used again. He described the stand-in as looking like a breakdancer doing the robot whenever he had to portray Data or lore, and said that, quote, "I think the guy was really into playing an android, and his enthusiasm got cranked up to 11, but at the end of the week, pretty much everyone wanted to deactivate him and sell him to the nearest Jawa." That's a quote. That's a quote from Will Wheaton about this episode.
Goddamn.
And wow. Also this we talked about this a little bit before, but this was the final episode written by Gene Roddenberry before he fucking died. Like, well, the last one that was actively written by Gene Roddenberry, I suppose, because I think he even like as he was like just suffering and dying in horror and rage, he was still very much like involved in the production of the show, I guess. Well, I think that's it for data lore. And final thoughts, anyone?
Fun episode,
Yeah, really fun episode.
Yeah, I guess that's pretty much all of it for me. As I enjoyed it a great deal. So sue me.
Yeah, no, I agree. This was fucking great. This was a really good episode. I think it was funny how like how satisfied Picard was with the fact, like, because he never apologized to Wesley. Like, even at the end of the episode, like, he's just like, get back to work. You know what I mean? Like, never, like, didn't apologize for telling him to shut the fuck up.
Wesley's such a tool that work is like his favorite thing. So, okay. So that was like Picard being like, you're good in my book. Sorry, I guess. I don't know.
Also, apparently Troy never shows up in this episode. That's the thing I did not notice.
Oh.
Yeah, interesting. Well, and then we move on to the men's rights episode, Angel 1, that's listed on Netflix, episode 13, I think. So we're going back. We're making second contact, I guess, with the matriarchal, this society that's supposedly like a matriarchal one, but some people have a ship got destroyed nearby, and the nearest inhabited planet that their escape pods could have gone to is this one. What kind of wacky adventures are we gonna have here as we search for survivors? Stay tuned, folks. Okay, so the very beginning of the episode is that we then go into, and this is where I realize I desperately need my notes to actually keep me focused. I can't just pull up IMDb trivia. Starfleet wants Angel 1 to join the Federation, which doesn't really make sense because like they have like strict gender segregation, and wouldn't that be against the Federation charter? You know, the Federation protects men's rights, folks.
I put this in the same category as like the Prime Directive malarkey. It's like, it's just whenever it's convenient to ignore certain parts of canon stuff. Yeah, you just ignore it and then you just move on and you just pretend it never existed. Because you're right. I'm pretty sure, I'm pretty sure that the Federation is like against that kind of thing, like any sort of oppressive society that oppresses people based on gender, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's a good read, is that the Federation, not for that, but also non-interference. So I guess don't worry about it when they're doing it, but Riker, get your rocks off. Let's go.
Oh yeah. Hey, listen. Seeing that much of Riker this episode,
yeah,
also top tier.
Makes
this a top tier episode. Like,
oh yeah, I felt some ways for a minute.
Yeah. No, it was perfect.
He has a very consistent carpet. Absolutely.
True.
It's kind of weird. The reason that they're stated to be a matriarchy is because Gene Roddenberry had this idea. Okay, what if there's an alien planet where every woman is at least 5'10" and every guy is shorter than 5'4"? What would happen there? And I didn't actually remember I just thought I didn't remember that they just had a cast of exclusively short kings like populate the men on this alien world. Every woman is like the tallest model that they could get their hands on, and then just every guy is just like a twink, just a real short king.
Yeah, I mean, like, for whatever, Trent was like a piece of shit, I mean, just doing his duty, I guess, but he was pretty
just
cute,
following orders. But
Trent was a cutie as he goes and activates the death orb to destroy the MRA anarchists.
Yeah. MR anarchist. I'm gonna regret ever saying that.
Men's rights anarchism. Let's go.
I hate it.
Oh, what ended up happening is that, oh my god, the men folk, they went out into the society, but they just couldn't follow the rules of being subject to the matriarchy, man, of having women control everything. So they form an anarchist resistance cell. They're called anarchists too. That's why we're saying it so much. Like these people, they're anarchists. They don't get along with our society. Oh my god, it's hilarious. So, and the implication here also is that patriarchy exists because because men on average are just biologically stronger than women, which is just the most Gene Roddenberry thing I've ever heard in my entire life. Oh my god. Oh, Wesley and Picard. Yeah, so Wesley hit, and the B plot is like also is simultaneously extremely like dire and important, but also entirely like irrelevant to the proceedings. There's the Omega variant is discovered. It smells very sweet and it makes you inhale it. And Picard and Worf are infected first. I guess they get infected on the planet, but the first time they're actually infected is after the snowball. So we all thought that like that that's Wesley, especially since Worf started talking about how it smells like a flower. Like we think that Wesley and his friend are just like smoking weed in the snow on the holodeck, which
Yeah,
that sounds
which would
fun.
be tight, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's kind of a funny little thing where it's just like, hey, we caught a thing on a planet, and we you know, you just don't. Well, I mean, I guess yeah, you're right. Like, was there any sort of awareness that did they bring it? Was it Wesley and all these snot-nosed kids that just like were plague bearers? Is that what happened, or was it or was everybody you know, everybody infected, and it was
strange.
just like already not like it was incubating in everybody, you know? Was that what happened? Because I thought that the whole thing was that Wesley and the other kid gave it to them because they had gone on a field trip, and there was only like a teacher and then a bunch of kids, right?
Yeah. We only ever see like Wesley and then like just this other kid who's his friend.
Mm-hmm.
It's confusing.
Yeah, his friend who you never meet again.
You think if it was like a known virus that was from this planet that they'd be like talking to them about like how to potentially cure the virus, like if there's been like any kind of like inoculation, but that's never brought up. It's just, oh, there's a virus now, everyone's getting infected, there's no such thing as like quarantining or social distancing on the Enterprise, unfortunately. Everything they're all sharing the same air. It's like being on an airplane. Oh god.
Yeah.
Riker has to go and wear the, well, he doesn't have to, but he wants to wear the traditional male outfit expected by him, which is
he had to.
He
had to.
He go which is
For
just
me.
like all the men are wearing the same thing, like the exact same thing. It's a very traditional outfit, I suppose. Just like a half open tunic where it just exposes like your chest hair and like your left nipple. It's a very good.
Wait, what chest hair? All the Trents didn't have chest hair.
That's true. The Trents, which I think is just a derogatory slur for like man on their planet.
Yeah, I'm here for that.
Trent.
Oh, this fucking Trent. God.
But the leader wants to have sex with Riker so bad because he's the only man she's ever seen that's been over 5'6".
Which is weird because like if this is supposed to be some sort of like bizarro world, then that would be like a very super tall woman and comes to Earth. And men are like, wow, she's so tall, I must have her. I don't know.
Yeah.
It seems like a very weird, like, isn't this supposed to be just like the complete, it's just patriarchy, but just genders are flipped?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So like they want a petite, slim, little guy, and Riker comes in like a big lumberjack, and they're like, oh yeah. Like this is kind of, it doesn't really, I don't know. Unless he's just like an anomaly.
It honestly wouldn't be like that, right? Like that would like, because I mean, like look at like how many, like in today's society, right? Like people usually don't like muscular women, you know, or like beefy women.
That's
like
not the gender role for that, like the gender norms for femininity that is being like perpetuated by patriarchy. Yeah, right. So this is supposed to be.
I mean, like they even made like a point of like having Trent like put on the makeup or put on the perfume, right? Like, you know, to like just be like, oh, like this is like they actually like took the time to like watch him like spritz himself and like give like a little like like a little I'm perfect now, you know, like type shit. Like
the
shoulder shrug and
a man putting on perfume, unheard of. My goodness, it's definitely one of those things. like, oh, look at this twink applying perfume. It's amazing. what kind of the vastness of space and the wonder and mystery of the cosmos. This episode is also, I think, like the most that, you know, besides like later on in the series, the most that Tasha has gotten to do, like, ever in an episode. So she's not at all like the even like the primary actor in this, but she's doing a lot. Like, she is active. She's actually behaving like a head of security and is not just being like entirely made redundant by Worf. In an alternate world where Denise Crosby stays on board, who knows what could have ended up happening. I mean, you know, Denise Crosby, fantastic actor. We of course see her come back several times, and she's good every single time.
Mhm.
So the B plot also includes the Klingon sneeze, which is subtitled as Klingon sneeze. That's very funny. It's just a normal sneeze, except they add reverb to it in post.
That's true. Yeah. I'm just imagining a new meme coming out. New meme format. Klingon sneeze intensifies.
There's when the leader of the matriarchy is talking with Riker, you know, after they have sex. Yeah, Klingon sneeze.
Exactly.
When the matriarchal leader, I think she's called like the mistress. Ooh, very kinky. It's very
Again, the vastness of the universe. They're exploring, and they find this matriarchy where she's like the mistress or whatever. Like, it seems like you explore, you are able to have faster than light travel, and you find this very like Earth, but you just flip the genders, and then you have like, oh, it's a mistress instead.
A million femdom holodeck programs that are just exactly like this in every single way. They've probably recreated this planet several times. It's I mean, it's very interesting. How interesting this Star Trek project is. What a vision this man Gene Roddenberry had for the future. What's her name? I don't remember the leader's name. I guess I just have to call her Mistress from now on. The mistress of the
Hold
planet.
on.
Yes.
It's yes, mistress.
I think her name's Beata.
Yeah, something
Beata?
like that. Yeah, that does sound familiar, because I remember the one lady yells it at the end after the twink is about to destroy the people with the orb.
That's right.
Spoilers. She talks about to Riker a new version of the white man's burden, the female's burden. It's our job to do the work and run society while we must take care of the men folk who cannot govern themselves.
Oh yeah, I yeah, that was fucking rich. Like the just like it was just like straight, like just like the regular like patriarchal like bullshit defense of people. Well, actually, you know, our men have it better because they get to stay at home while we do all the important things. Like, Gene Roddenberry was also thinking that he was saying something really good, like really poignant about this one, the same way, where it's just like, wow, you know, I'm gonna make Lore, you know, very evil because he's the most human android, and I'm gonna make this planet like, you know, oh, this people are gonna reflect on this and be like, oh, maybe the patriarchy on Earth is actually really wrong, though.
Gene Roddenberry has this like obsession with ambition. Like, whenever there's like an evil person, the thing that makes them like evil is that they just have heightened ambition. Like you know, they retcon them to be like super soldiers and a bunch of different stuff, but the augments, like with Khan and people like that in the original series, they're not like actually super smart or super strong. They just have like heightened ambition, so they're all like Alexander the Great, and they become irresistible to the primal woman. That's in the original series.
We
Cannot recommend. But it's they find the men's rights anarchists, and oh, look at that, they have wives, they have children on this planet, they're hiding from being executed by the matriarchy, but they lead them right to it. The Crusher on board it figures out that the virus smells sweet, making you inhale deeply. It's kind of an interesting concept. We looked at that and we're like, oh, okay, oh, that's neat. But they end up leading the people right to where the anarchists are hiding, and then these brave men will happily be executed for men's rights everywhere. They're gonna be executed to protest male oppression, but oh my goodness, they can't go on board until Crusher solves the Omega variant, because everyone else is gonna get infected too. Data calculates they only have 46 minutes to restore men's rights and still make it to go over and fight the Romulans. Oh yeah, that's like, I guess that's the C plot. They have to go fight the Romulans or something.
Yep. That's
really?
Yeah.
They say, oh yeah, we gotta go
We gotta get to the neutral sector to go and like fight with the Romulans or whatever.
Yeah, we gotta go flex on the Romulans, not fight them necessarily, but to like do a show of force to protect the colony. And that's
It's also
that.
weird because like later on, the end of season 1 is like the introduction to the reintroduction of the audience to the Romulans, and so they're just like here now. Like they just needed to have a bad guy. Like, I'm surprised they didn't just say it was gonna be the Ferengi or something. Like I mean, they use them in every other fucking episode in this goddamn series.
Yeah, they were definitely supposed to be, and then they backed away from that. I think because of how fucking awful they were to the Ferengi in the first episode where they show up. Yeah, hey, fair, frankly.
Yeah, honestly, the ticking clock is established. They have to go fight the Romulans, or they have to go like dickwag at the Romulans, I guess. And the vaporization is about to happen. But Riker does one of the rare Picard speeches this time. About how there is no revolution here. It's anti-revolutionary, anti-men's rights revolution. It's an evolution of gender roles, and executing their menfolk will only make the men's rights activists stronger. And so the one woman begs for her husband not to be killed, and then they stop it, and then they go self-cert and try to figure out what that men's rights are actually like a good thing. It ends up that, oh, okay, well, these people, we won't execute them, but they'll go live far away, where like on an island where life will be hard, and they won't have time to post on r/brain cells.
Yeah.
It would have been, I don't know why they just didn't like write men's lives matter like on the middle of a street. That would have they would have been able to co-opt the entire movement.
Oh my god, it's yeah, and that's Angel 1, the girl boss gaslight gatekeep episode. Hooray!
Yay!
I just learned that, I think it's just important that we take a lesson from this episode. The lesson being that if you give women too many rights, you
can't even finish.
If you can finish it, if you give women too many rights.
She was decimated by the horror of the concept of women's rights. What if there was a
cautionary tale?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I'm afraid. I'm actually shivering right now.
First of all, everyone will become shorter. You will become adorably petite manlets. After that, you will be forced to wear that one nipple exposed robe and spritz yourself with perfume. And need I go on? I don't want to upset anybody listening to this.
I mean, I'm 6'5". Like, oh, what are the women gonna do to me? They're
you're done. You're done.
You're gonna be axed.
Yeah, you're done.
Well, they're gonna there's like the height the cosmetic heightening surgery where they like break your bones and insert metal rods. It's gonna be the opposite of that. They're gonna break my bones and they're just gonna shave them off until I have like a huge torso and very short legs. they're not gonna stop until I'm 5'4" and completely hairless. Oh God.
Yep.
That's your future.
Yep. I don't know why you're laughing.
Actively working on that right now.
Once Bad Bunny gets her way, you're all fucking done for out there.
Men are hairless and petite, and you are laughing.
If you have, if you are an inch over 5'6", or you have a single hair on your body, then you are
hairless, petite, smell good. Honestly, take notes.
Well, finally, the masculine ideal for on one of these planets just becomes the twink. It turns out that they had it right the whole time.
Yeah, and washing your legs.
Yeah, washing your legs. Yeah, definitely.
So a lot of interesting stuff to decompile here about like the gender roles of Star Trek, especially with regards to Gene Roddenberry. Of course, as we've covered before, women were second-class citizens, absolutely, in the original series. It's established specifically that they aren't allowed to be captains in Starfleet. That's the last episode of the original series. Oh my God! Final thoughts on Angel 1, folks. What do you got?
Trent, call me. I'll forgive you for the murder.
The orb.
Brian's over here like, I could change him. I can change him. It's okay.
Yeah,
I can fix him.
Yeah, real, I guess we didn't really talk about it. They show their execution method as being like evaporated between two things, and they show it happening to like a pot, and all that needs to happen is that someone needs to touch the orb, and then it glows red. And
it's very casual. The execution. It's extremely casual. I don't know if I'm comfortable with it. Like, I'm probably very not comfortable with that form of execution. Now, I don't know if there are forms I'm comfortable with, but I feel like that's definitely not one.
It being painless and instant, and like that doesn't look painless or instant.
How would you know? How would you know it's painless?
Yeah. That's a good point. Like, yeah, your body's just getting like ripped apart for like a total of 3 seconds, and yeah, sure, it's only gonna last a very short amount of time, but that seems like the most painful thing I can even imagine. Like your body is just being like evaporated between this mysterious energy. Oh my God.
I for one want to be evaporated by a girl boss.
I'm okay with that.
I have some interesting stuff here. The concept of Angel 1's matriarchal leadership and dominance was originally intended to be an allegory to South Africa's system of apartheid. A major issue.
What? Fuck off! Fuck all
I need to look at
off.
IMDb trivia more. This is great.
Fucking hell!
Is there a citation on that one? Because I hope that they're just ass, but I don't doubt that they're being very genuine about that.
I'm gonna guess this.
God, how does anybody take this fucking show seriously? Like, come the fuck on.
Despite itself, sometimes it's good. It's wild.
What were the first episodes that we covered with you, Nicole? What were they? You weren't on for Code of Honor, were you?
No,
I don't remember what they were called. I never remember episode names.
The planet of the planet that's entirely composed of black people. The black people.
That one. Ours are way lamer.
Yeah, we found out that one specifically was directed by it was this one and only time that he directed an episode for the show, because they found out that he was just an extremely racist piece of shit.
Yeah, specifically what happened, and yeah, we found, and Jesse told us this, and it's just the worst thing I've ever heard in my entire life. It's so horrible that I find it extremely funny. So yeah, the concept of the episode, like, they weren't meant to like be black people. They were just meant to be like some generic alien, and then the director of that episode just only cast black people to be the aliens.
And wear the clothing that, like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
What was the episode called? What's it called?
Code of Honor. It wasn't
Code of
supposed to be
Honor.
like a planet entirely consisting of black people. The director just only cast black people. It's just so obscenely racist. Like, it shocks me.
But they're like holding sticks.
Yeah.
Like what is going on?
And everybody like
clogged
on the
like-
show
Yeah,
was
go
just
ahead.
everybody on the show was just basically like, that fucking sucks. Everybody felt bad about it, and it's just like, holy shit. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, Gates.
I don't want to know. I don't want to know any more about like the truth behind the scenes of this show, because it's just like, then I'm gonna find out like, just like none of it's good. None of it's ever good. None of it's like cute. You know, the cutest quip that we have of like lore, like behind the scenes lore, is once again Tasha, the actress that plays Tasha Yar, stealing food from the cheer set. That's it. That's the only thing. Like, that's the only thing that we have that's like good out of this.
yes,
and you know
yes.
what?
Yeah.
Yep, that one.
that's
Yep.
the most-
That
Yeah,
one.
so if you're just listening, I posted a photo of I don't know what his role is. Is he like
He's like the leader. Yeah, he's like the leader guy who's he's the leader. Basically.
in Code of Honor, season 1, episode 3, where they remarkably only cast black people and then also dress them up in what I think a white person would dress a black person in if they are trying to like.
It looks like the director was like trying to like being like, hey, you've seen Coming to America, right?
Yes.
Like, can you
It's like,
just
what are they?
can you
Oh
just
my
like
God.
do that but with our low budget? That'd be great.
Also, space. Can you make it like a space,
Like
a little more
space.
spacey?
Yeah, like there's like electricity.
Yeah.
Like that's
Oh,
like,
well,
is that
I mean,
gonna work?
only implied electricity too, because their whole planet just looks like it's made of like mortar. Like it's so. Oh, it is so bad.
God, I hated that fucking episode.
Oh,
I
it was
still
so
that episode
bad.
still has. But
I
like
hated
also
Tasha from that episode too. She sucked in that episode. Like,
Yeah.
she was like, "Oh, I like him actually. I would have some feelings for him." Like, the guy.
yeah, there was a whole lot to unpack with that episode.
yeah, yeah.
The I think like any time that there's a planet like where like there's just like they have to like do like a planet where they have to like send like a delegation party to like speak with the leaders of it, it's always
Mhm.
awful. It's never good. There's always like something like they're just missing the fucking mark. Like it's literally, once again, it's like West Wing bullshit, right? Like it's
Hmm.
it's like
I
the
would love to see the
the
cast
worst-
of West Wing deal with these people. That would be my favorite fan fiction. I mean, I guess we kind of seen it already because he does the West Wing speech at the end. Riker does.
yeah.
What about season 1, episode 7? What's it called? Justice, where they go to that planet with all the frolicking Aryans or whatever.
Yeah, the Aryan
that's
sex
the other one.
planet.
Yeah, where they
It's so
Yeah, where
weird.
yeah, Nicole, this is the difference between those two episodes, right? They for the Justice episode or whatever, or Code of Honor, for the Code of Honor episode, it ends like they come to a resolution with a fight to the death, right? Like that's that's like the pretense of it, right? The way that they come and like the way it like Wesley is like being put on like for like a death sentence
Right.
in the Aryan episode, and they all like gear up and they're like, well, how can we settle this peacefully through discussion? Like, what can we do? Like, there's just like obviously like we can't resort to violence. These are white people. They're just like us. How
Oh crap! Fuck.
Oh my god.
y'all.
When you put it that way. Jesus.
Yeah. That I thought there was at least like a couple of people of color like sprinkled in the background of that episode. I remembered that, and no, I was completely wrong. They're all white blonde people. Like, there's
Which of course don't use violence to like, they use like a civilized violence, sure, but
they just carry around syringes like with like instant death.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I guess it actually does have some like weird you know what, I don't even want to say. It's just I feel like any way to try to break down the backdrop of like these episodes makes you sound like a horrible person because you have to explain it. It's just like, I don't want to have those words come out of my mouth. If someone else says it, I'll be like, okay, yeah, but I'm not gonna come up with it. It's just this episode. A bunch of Aryans running around with syringes trying to execute anyone for stepping out of line is just a little on the nose.
And it's peaceful. It's so peaceful.
The fact that the Federation is so fucking like just like quick to just like give them the benefit of the doubt to like the very last fucking minute. Meanwhile, in the first, I feel like every episode of fucking Left Trek I bitch about this because it's just so, I have to fucking bring it up because it's like, in that episode, the very last minute, they're like sitting there trying to like negotiate with their fucking like Aryan Senate, but like within like the first 3 minutes of like the confrontation with like on Code of Honor, even the empath is like, let's fucking nuke these people. They don't deserve.
Her line is literally like, oh, if only not for the Prime Directive, this could be solved so easily. And the first thing they do is detonate photon torpedoes in a high altitude above,
to like as a demonstration of power, like let them know, let these savages know like what they're getting into, like they're fucking conquistadors or some shit, right?
Yeah. Like
meanwhile,
yeah, exactly. Go ahead.
Meanwhile, these people, this entire play, they had their own teleportation technology. They were able to cloak themselves from the Federation ship. And they were just like, well, we don't understand like what technology they're using. And their technology is so foreign to ours. And it's like, why do you keep treating them like they're like backwards? They literally on the same technological level as you, if not more so.
Yeah.
I wonder why.
Why might they do that?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And then they get to a fucking planet where it's like, okay, we're gonna say something about how like, we're gonna show like how like ridiculous like the patriarchy is if it was, by putting it for like a matriarchy instead. Haha, now you see that it's just like humanoid nature for like these things to just naturally occur. Aha, this is what we're gonna talk about. And then it's like, oh wait, nope, still solved by one man's cock, because remember, if Riker didn't fuck the mistress, she wouldn't have reconsidered the death sentence, because she looks over at him and she was like, well, yes, because this is what a civilized nation would do, right? And then it's just like having a flashback to his fucking like, I don't know, like her pegging him for like 15 minutes. Like it's just
oh my fucking god.
Oh my.
We can swear, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Left Check will never be monetized.
When you when you frame it all like that, maybe
that's what I'm here for.
Maybe. Well,
I have no vested interest in keeping the purity of Star Trek alive. Like I'm literally here as like as an impartial observer of just like, what the fuck?
Amen. Thank you.
Nor should you keep it, because there's a lot of Star Trek fans that are like extremely sensitive to like any sort of tarnishing of Gene Roddenberry's like pristine reputation as some fucking progressive visionary who was just destroying. He was a cop, by the way. Fucking Gene Roddenberry was a cop. I learned that from Jesse Gender.
Oh, he was actually a cop?
He was literally a cop before.
Oh my god!
Now, I don't know if he was like, I can't speak for his feelings on cop stuff as, the Gene Roddenberry of Star Trek. I don't know if he was like, oh man, I really regret those days, or if he's just like, man, I really miss those days. I don't really know his opinion on it. I haven't looked into it.
Really, the importance of security.
but this pristine. I don't know if you saw Jesse's this. What is the title? Like sex. Oh God, I'm gonna butcher it. Something with sex and Trek. Fuck.
I still haven't gotten around to watching it.
Oh, you should watch it. I'm in it, so you should watch it.
Insert title here. Yeah, go. Yeah, Jesse.
I insert title here. Someone quickly get it because I'm doing a horrible job shouting it out. But just you should subscribe to Jesse Jenner's channel. Period on YouTube. It's incredible.
Agreed.
But yeah, I that episode was really eye-opening for me to learn a lot about Gene Roddenberry and also to learn a lot about how Star Trek fans are extremely sensitive about their idea, their view of Gene Roddenberry, this idea of Gene Roddenberry and his vision and what his vision entailed and like how visionary he was, et cetera, et cetera. And it's just like when Zotz is just like, nah, it's like kind of refreshing because we have more than enough of the ball washing, the absolutely ridiculous ball washing of the guy. Enough is enough.
I can't. Anytime, like I'm sitting here like watching a lot of these episodes, and I'm just like, oh, there's so much to unpack in this. This is fucking awful. That's
Some
why
of them
I'm always
so much though. Like the code of honor is just so much that I didn't even notice some of the things y'all pointed out, and I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. But I think I was distracted by like the extremely racist depictions. Like, because it's hard to see the little details. But yeah, you're right about the about Angel 1, that Riker does serve as like the male savior. That like his masculine
literally.
cock was just like really
he saved men everywhere with his cock. Well done, Riker.
Yeah. He kept the revolution. He kept the revolution alive through his chest hair and his shaft. That was that's what it was. Yeah.
But of course.
And his non-beard, his no beard.
And his non-beard.
Yeah, no beard.
Oh God, I can't wait.
Eventually he'll migrate
How
the
much
hair
longer?
from his chest onto his beard.
I think it's like a season. I don't even know. He's a goatee, right? I don't know. He has a beard. He has a beard.
Yeah, he has like a. It's like a goatee.
It's the other one that's a
into
goatee.
a full beard. Yeah. It's.
Wait, Zotz, this is the first time you've been watching Star Trek?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Zotz is the rube. Zotz knows nothing about Star Trek.
I thought I heard that earlier, but I was like, no way. But that's amazing.
This is the first time. This is why like anytime that there's this is why I'm I'm the one to like to bring up all the the super problematic.
That's amazing.
Shit.
You should. Yeah. I'm kind of bummed that you weren't around for the episode that I was on last time because like I was under the impression that everyone here is like Trekkies, but having someone who's not a Trekkie is super awesome because it's like we get to experience it through your eyes for the first time and also like your eyes, Zotz, which I think are very, you have a certain perspective, which is really
that's
valuable.
the Left Trek promise, folks.
You know what? With the moment that they arrive on the planet of fucking like beanies and switchblades, I'm done. Like I can't. Like there's no way I could look on for like them having a fucking my Mexican planet. I can't have them fucking like making shit up about all my cousins and stuff. Like that'll be it.
I don't think they do that. They do have a fucking indigenous one though, and it's gross.
I'm gonna bring that up too.
Awful. It is horrible.
And it gets even
exactly as bad as you could imagine it to be. It's just fucking horrific.
I can't wait to get mad at that.
But it's way later, so you can just
Okay.
Oh yeah, it's literally season 7.
It's like the last season.
I'm very grateful though for like this episode of Left Trek so far. Nobody has like brought up how much better Deep Space Nine is or like whatever the other one is, because it's like normally like there's usually like a tangent of just like this is like all those points about the Next Generation being absolutely dog shit for their fucking takes because Gene Roddenberry just couldn't get his head out of his ass, and then it's just like get way better like in Deep Space Nine because like it's it's this and that. It's just like but I'm not watching that yet, and I've never seen that one yet. So all I have is this point for my point of reference is this shit here.
One, sorry.
It's closely related to the like, if you don't like Star Wars, well, you should read the books, and that really informs. Like, no, I'm watching the movies. If the movies suck, I will say the movies suck. Don't say the movies don't suck because I didn't read the fucking supplementary like textbook that I'm required to read in order to really appreciate a thing that's not the textbook. I'm watching the movie for the movie.
Yeah,
Anyways.
and that's the big thing as well, because being able to look at Star Trek through fresh eyes, it's refreshing, because all of us, like every single person that we've had on here that knows a lot about Star Trek, the only, which is everyone except for Elliot and Zod's, are coming at this not having seen a whole bunch of it, not having absorbed certainly a whole bunch through cultural osmosis, but not
for sure,
not growing up with these things, not becoming used to like the conventions, and that's why Left Trek is the greatest podcast of all time, folks, because of that.
We'll make you feel bad. We'll make you feel bad for the thing you like because it's full of white bullshit.
we're putting Star Trek in our grave. Yeah. Well,
that's once again so grateful for like episodes where it's just like where they just allow fucking goddamn it, I never remember his name, Patrick Stewart and the actor that plays Data to just chew the fucking scenery. Like anytime it's just them just doing whatever. So good. Perfect. 10 out of 10. Just go for it.
And coincidentally, like all of the best episodes of The Next Generation, like all the ones that you'll see on the top 10 list, are probably all, or at least the vast majority of them, are going to be hugely Picard centric episodes that have him in like a situation acting. I mean everyone knows Inner Lights, Darmok. Darmok. When do we get into?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I cannot wait to get into the good Star Trek. Holy shit! We have to wait until like Measure of a Man. That's the first good episode of Star Trek. It's like halfway through season 2. We're making good progress though. This I think officially demarks we're halfway through season 1. The horror has almost ended. Oh, sorry. The horror it's halfway done. I would love to close out this episode talking about an incredibly important thing, a set decoration. I noticed. I don't know. You may have noticed this, Nicole, but you see the lamps, that the very peculiar lamps that have like a hive kind of form to them, that are just all over the planet, like they're all over the planet, and those get used like all the fuck. I feel like I notice those every single time they use them, and they use them constantly. I was reminded of that because I was scrolling through IMDb trivia. A piece of the decoration of this episode I've seen many times since the various Star Trek episodes. And here comes the only D Space Nine reference that we're gonna have: white lamps in various sizes. Helix. Yes, thank you. Yeah. Well, this will be the only like actual like video of the only actual like visual thing that I'll include. Sorry if you're listening on SoundCloud. Sorry, Frezzo. I know you like SoundCloud. The white lamps and helix-shaped statues and wall decoration appear in several episodes. The silver box which Riker keeps, the blah blah blah. Here's the good one. The Albany meditation crystal, the one that they use to set the mood to fuck Riker and the mistress. Appeared as an artifact housing the embryonic life form in Star Trek Deep Space Nine, the Q episode of Star Trek Deep Space Nine, with what's her name, Vash.
Vash?
Remember, that I didn't actually even make that connection. What is her name? What's her name?
I think it's Vash.
Or is it Vash?
I hope it's not Vash.
I never even thought about that before.
Vash?
Yeah, remember the love interest that Picard has, the smuggler lady, the smuggler.
Oh, is that her name?
Yeah, her name.
Oh, wow. Why did I never even know her? Okay, yeah. Sure, yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
you're right.
Neither did I. So the episode where she tries to auction off some crystal that turned out to be like an alien thing in the only Q episode of Deep Space Nine. That's the meditation fuck crystal that they have in this episode. Just remember point. So that's the Deep Space Nine talk. Hey, look at we're not. I
was when Trent brought that fucking salt lamp in, whatever the fuck it's called. I don't know. I thought that they were gonna like let him stay, and I was like, oh wait, okay, all right, this is fine now. This is
Yeah.
a little better.
Oh, we'll party now. Let's go.
That would-
Let's go.
That would have been too ambitious for Star Trek.
Yeah, this is the 80s. You're not allowed to have threesomes.
Only two people at a time. Only a man and a woman. Thank you very much.
They couldn't even let Trent watch. Like, come on.
Yeah, come on.
The only good one of the only good things about Gene Roddenberry is his progressive attitude regarding sex. That's what and tune into to Jessie Gender's videos about this exact topic.
Have you watched her video? You haven't watched her video though, right?
I have not yet. No, I still need to.
I would be reluctant to say that about. I mean, after watching her video, I don't agree with that statement, but I don't want to elaborate because I want people to. I'm not going to do a good job of it.
Oh yeah,
but I disagree. I think there are progressive elements to his views on sex, sure, but like I also think largely they're extremely overblown for the most part.
Oh yeah,
and
too much.
Also,
he gets too much credit for it. He had some generally good things, but it's vastly overshadowed by everything else.
Yeah, there's a lot of other stuff to unpack, but like I don't want to focus. It's gonna be a whole bigger conversation, and I would just encourage people to watch Jesse's video.
Yeah,
let me see.
He wanted to have like background characters of like women holding hands with women on the love planet, and then the studio was like, no, you can't do that. So really, Gene Roddenberry's only good thing ended up being being not even allowed by the studio. So really, he contributed the name Star Trek. He wrote Guinan. There we go. He brought Whoopi Goldberg in. There we go. Thanks, Gene Roddenberry. You did. Thank you for your service. Gene Roddenberry, I'm sorry, but we're not gonna have you on as a guest in the future. We've talked about.
I mean, that's fine. I keep telling you, he's 75 years old and dead. So
yeah.
And yeah, well, I guess that's Left Trek, folks. So let's we did introductions, but I guess we are. Oh my god, I wanted the innovation for this podcast to be that we do the plugs at the beginning, but I never remember to do the plugs at the beginning. So
you know, through the magic of editing.
Oh, perhaps. Who knows how I'm gonna fucking chop all this shit up. I'm Eric. You can find me on a podcast called Left Trek. Look us up on Patreon, where you can find bonus episode 1 with additions from the one and only Bad Bunny. We kind of like expand that out a little bit because we also like talk a little bit about the Maquis just to make it like a full episode. Is the Patreon worth your $3? The answer is yes. We were gonna make it $1, and then Patreon said no, you should make it $3. I'm like, okay, I'm sorry.
All right, Patreon. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Brian,
can we shout out our patrons? Are you cool enough? Are you organized enough to do that? No.
No.
Huh? No. Okay.
I mean, we could, but that's no one wants it. Do you all want to hear your names? Maybe. We'll
maybe in the future. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I don't know.
Brian, where can people find you other than Left Trek?
Hi, Brian, aka Trashcan1312 on Twitch. I have extremely consistent branding, and it says if you type Trashcan1312 into something and I don't show up, then I'm not on that platform. There you go. But Twitch, Twitter, that's most of it.
And Zots.
Hi everyone, I'm Zots. Only Zots on Twitch.tv. Come and hang out. We do cozy streams, we do cooking streams. Currently using any donations that are given to the stream to help feed houseless and food insecure individuals within the city of Milwaukee that I coordinate with my branch of the IWW and our solidarity economy. So pretty cool.
Hell yeah.
And of course our returning special guest, Dr. Nicole Bad Bunny.
Hi everyone, my name is Bad Bunny. I will be rebranding soon, so stay tuned for that. I just can't figure out a name that's available anywhere ever. Everything is taken, so I have to find a new, unique combination of letters that has never been seen before. So until that happens, you can find me at twitch.tv/Bad Bunny. I'm a communist, feminist, vegan, so on and so forth. We talk about politics on my channel. I stream 5 days a week. My streamer weekends Tuesday, Wednesday, so you can catch me any day other than Tuesday, Wednesday. And every Sunday, we've just recently started on my channel a new show called Red Planet. So it's me, Sophie from Mars, Conquest of Dread, DJ Mule, and a guest or guests. And we've recently started, we're going to be, I think, filming our fifth episode, filming our fifth episode tomorrow. And we're going to be talking about, basically the show is based on the premise that capitalism has failed, communism is inevitable, and we discuss the way to get there. And we observe other people that are organizing and how they're doing it, and we try to basically stop with all the malarkey of debates and whatever, and just discourse garbage, and actually just come together and actually create a better world. And that's the goal of it. So that's every Sunday on my channel at twitch.tv/Bad Bunny. And you can also get my socials there. But if you want to know my Twitter, it's twitter.com/Bad Bunny Twitch.
Amen, folks. We special guests on also two other of our left track guests up to this point on Jesse Gender's Sex and Star Trek video. Perhaps there's second Sex and Star Trek video. You'll find it. And also on an episode of because we had Nicotine on as well, and you were on of Lovelace.
Oh my God, yeah, that's right. I had to fill in last second. So Nicotine does this show, creates this show. It's a Star Trek, like D&D, but it's like super immersive. Like there's like I don't know how to describe it. It's like a million camera angles and green screens and all sorts of stuff. It's like magical. It's ridiculous. It's incredible. And she runs that show over at her Twitch channel, not her original one, her main one, but it's at twitch.tv/Fable Scraps. And so like table scraps, but Fable Scraps. And one of the people that's in the show, Locke the Raven, got ill with COVID, unfortunately. And I think he's doing okay so far, but he wasn't able to perform. And so the night before, she was like, can you fill in? And I never in my life done any sort of role play stuff ever. And now I'm like, oh, I have to do like 2 hours, forced to do 2 hours of role play as like a made up Star Trek character that I have to like be like my full body. I have to act at I have to do my hair, I have to do makeup, all the things, outfit. And so I did it, and
she did a great job, folks. Absolutely.
Oh, geez. You saw that?
I saw a lot of it, and it was very funny.
Okay, good. It was terrifying. I had several moments of panic, but yeah, that was it was quite the experience, and I'd be down to do it again. I just wish I could get good at like role play stuff, but like yeah,
I didn't know it was so short notice.
Great.
That's so cool.
It was yeah, I was very scared.
I remember one point where I think it's you're injecting like a hypo spray into someone, and Nicotine's doing like the voice work of the background character, and then the hypo spray sound goes off, and she just goes like, "Ah, my eye." Check out all that stuff, folks. You want more Star Trek content? Are you sick of me taking fucking ages to edit these goddamn 2-hour recordings? Well, check out Bad Bunny, check out Nicotine, check out Jesse Gender. Oh my God, Jesse Gender has a lot of Star Trek content, and it's excellent, folks. Stay tuned for the next episode. We'll be doing, I don't even care about looking right now. It'll be something stupid, probably. probably bad. Probably something stupid, racist, sexist. You know the drill. It's season 1
classic
of Star Trek.
Yeah, classic TNG season 1, y'all. We'll be back. See you there.
Bye.